What's up, everyone? This is Jeff Watson, your host of Movies to Be Murdered By. Just wanted to take this time to say that we're going to do a little bit different today. I know we had planned to do a review of the Friday the 13th series, but I felt like today needed to be a little bit different in terms of the episode that we offered. First, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the world, and this is a very different time for many of us. I don't think anything like this has ever happened before. It's a very uncertain time. It's a very scary time, and I'm right there with a lot of you who are fearing the unknown and just not sure of what to think. But I really want to say that we really need to take this time to do some social distancing, but still check on the people that we love and care about, and whether it's doing FaceTime or Skype or whatever it is, to continue to be engaged with those that we love and care about, and and this is, again, this is such a unique and different time. And honestly, I don't really know what to say, because if you're a horror movie fan like I am, this is like the beginning of a horror movie, and you don't really want to think about what happens next, because this is real life at this point. And it's not a script. There's not a natural. This just isn't normal for us. The best way to put it. And um, there's no plot. There's no anything like that. This is real life at this point. So if anyone out there is, not taking the coronavirus seriously, you really need to reevaluate that, because this is a very serious matter, and you should take it seriously. But continue to check on the people that you love and care about. Continue to reach out to friends, even though we're being asked to distance ourselves and remain at home, and a lot of us are dealing with issues with work, and it can be a very stressful time. But just continue to check on people, let them know that you care, let them know that you love them, and I feel like that will go a long way. Today, what I really wanted to do is, while most of us are stuck at home, I wanted to go through some movies on Netflix. I'm going to go through different streaming platforms over the next couple days, and put out a couple different ones here. But I wanted to start with Netflix today. Some movies that you can stream while you're stuck at home. I've been finding myself doing this over the last several days, and I'm still a horror movie fan, even though things in the real world right now are scary. I still enjoy watching horror films, and hopefully you do too if you're a fan of the genre. So I just wanted to go through a few films that are on Netflix right now, and um, just kind of recommend them while you're at home, and hopefully they provide you a little bit of an escape with what's going on around us. So the first one that I'd like to start with is The Autopsy of Jane Doe. And I watched this one a while back, and didn't really know what to think about it at first. I really didn't know what I'd heard a lot of buzz about it on the internet, and I was like, well, I'll give it a try. Really solid movie. It's very creepy. It's very it was unexpected for me. So I really enjoyed watching this one. So if if you want to see something that's a little bit different, definitely check out the Autopsy of Jane Doe. Bird Box is the next one. Um, I really enjoyed Bird Box. Um, I thought that the ending, I was like, yeah, not as much of a fan of it, but definitely enjoyed the build up for the film, and and thought Sandra Bullock did a great job. Um, and the tension that this movie is able to build is quite impressive, because it's pretty. There's not a lot going on. It's just the anticipation of, well, you know what's going to happen, and we're covering our eyes. So um, it was definitely well done. I wish that um, things had played out a little bit differently in the end, but all in all, I thought it was a fine film. Candyman, yes, Candyman is on Netflix right now, the original. There are talks that the remake or spiritual sequel to this film is going to be actually held off until 2021 with everything that's going on. Shout out to my friend Jesse Drew, who gave me some of that information. Also, while I'm talking about her, we will have a special announcement within the next week or so regarding Jesse. Really excited about that. But yeah, Candyman is on Netflix, and the original scared the crap out of me. Um, and most of it was because it was a different character than we had ever seen before. Um, and the backdrop for the film was a real backdrop. I mean, you use Chicago, Cabrini Green, and it just felt real, and it was an intense movie, and Tony Todd is just fantastic in the role. So definitely, if you have a chance, check it out. If you've never seen Candyman before, this is a perfect time to watch that film, because it's amazing. It really is, and the tension that's built in that movie, and the just everything, the whole vibe is just something to definitely check out if you're a horror movie fan. Also, one movie I've already reviewed is Child's Play, the original. That's on Netflix right now. Um, I've said everything I need to say about Child's Play, but it's definitely one of my favorite horror movie films of all time. So definitely check out Child's Play if you get a chance here on Netflix. Um, One of the sequels to that movie is Cult of Chucky, and it came out in 2017, and it kind of goes back to more of the serious tone of the franchise. Several films like Bride of Chucky and I'm drawing a blank, Seed of Chucky, were a little bit goofy and out there. This one goes back to more of the serious nature of the franchise, and provides a different feel. So if you get a chance, definitely check out Cult of Chucky as well, but watch the original first. The Evil Dead is on Netflix, and not I don't think enough people talk about The Evil Dead, but Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell as Ash, just a fantastic franchise, and I think most of the movies are on Netflix. I think the entire franchise is on Netflix right now, but I know for sure the original is on there. So definitely give that a watch. Final Destination. I know that there are several of those films on Netflix right now. Um, you know, that was those films, and you do get some role a role from Tony Todd in those. So those films are good too, but just those films and the way that they did, some of the death scenes in those films were just horrific but creative. And, I to this day, if I'm on the road, if I'm on the interstate and I'm riding behind a log truck, I immediately go as fast as I can to get around that log truck. And if you've never seen the film, the first four are on Netflix, so go check those out and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But you can have a little mini Final Destination marathon if you watch those on Netflix. Another film on Netflix right now is Girl on the Third Floor. That's a newer film. It came out in 2019, and it stars CM Punk, which kind of marries two of my favorite things together, which is professional wrestling and horror movies. But CM Punk is a former professional wrestler. Um, I say former because he's not wrestling right now, but maybe one day he'll change that. But I watched this film the day that it came out on Netflix, and it's quite interesting. As a matter of fact, it's a different kind of film. I really liked it. I know some reviews are a little bit critical of it, but I really liked it. Um, some of the violence in the movie, oh my goodness. There's one scene in particular that really sticks with you. Um, it's a kill that I've never seen in a horror movie before, so it's definitely unique in that way. But it's definitely a good film. Um, it is kind of a throwback to a couple decades of horror, 70s and 80s, that I really like, and some of the build up with the characters, and who are you rooting for and who are you not rooting for, that kind of thing. Kind of asks you to ask some of those questions. But yeah, definitely a really good film. Green Room, I don't really consider Green Room that much of a horror film, but the violence in it, um, and some of the story definitely lends itself to that genre, and it's really a good film. It really is. I wanted to go see the movie in theaters. I didn't get a chance to. This came out back in 2015. But it's really solid, and you know, it's one of those films where the violence in it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a little over the top, but it's great. It's very well done, and I really enjoy it. And um, there's so many big names in there. I don't want to miss anyone, but so many big names in the movie, and it's just very well done. It creates this kind of dingy, eerie feeling throughout the film. So very well done there. To kind of wrap up a little bit here. Um, trying to think of what else here. The Witch is another one from 2015. That one freaked me out a little bit. That's not my typical go-to in terms of what I like to watch, but it's one of those films that definitely is very interesting to say the least. But I really enjoyed watching The Witch. Like I said, something outside of my comfort zone. Um, but I enjoyed it. I really did. And then The Ring, from 2002 with Naomi Watts. She's in it, and obviously that's a really good film. So is Paranormal Activity, and I know I'm missing a lot that are on there, but this is just kind of just a quick list of, if you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it, you just want to go back and rewatch some of these films. The one thing that I can say about Netflix is they have a lot of original films that they've produced and created, and it is really good for a marathon, or if you're just trying to watch a bunch of horror films to kind of pass the time. That's Netflix is a good place to go. And I'll, the next few days, I will probably release another episode on Monday. But Hulu has some great horror films, original horror films, and I've watched a lot of horror films on Amazon Prime Video, so I'll go through some of those as well. But yeah, I mean, definitely, since we're all kind of stuck in the house at this point, and trying to figure out things to do, if you want a film that kind of takes your mind off of everything that's going on outside, check out some of those. We'll definitely ask for some suggestions when we post this episode. What movies have you been watching since being kind of quarantined in the house? But again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. It's been the support that I've gotten for this podcast has been very touching and overwhelming at times. I'm really excited about the future of this podcast, and some things that we have coming up. Really excited about that. But today I just felt like it was, instead of going into a film and acting like nothing was happening, I wanted to really address everything head on, and just let you all know that yes, this is a difficult time, and it's a difficult time, and a lot of us don't really know what's going to happen next, or what's going to come, but we're all in this together. We just need to continue to check on each other and be there for one another, and just continue to be kind human beings. A lot of times, when there's a crisis or something, we have a tendency to think about ourselves, but during this time, we really need to be focused on, obviously staying healthy and making sure we're practicing proper habits, but we also need to check on others, because there are people out there who are extremely panicked right now and freaking out. But let's be kind to one another during these times, and really be considerate. So that's it. That's the Netflix list that I wanted to share with everyone. Like I say, we're going to come out with some movies from Hulu, some movies from Amazon Prime, and maybe some from different places. I'll do something on Shudder as well. Maybe next time when I'm on, we'll have a guest join me. But until next time, everyone, thank you for listening. This is a very different episode, but I felt it was necessary. But until next time, I'm your host, Jeff Watson, and this was Movies to Be Murdered By. Take care, have a great weekend, and God bless.